can we start by trying to build a proper political party? And let me tell you, one of the great visions that we are driving ADC is that if you look around, there's no party that has a plan for a successor generation. Within our ranks, we acknowledge that many members of ADC that's making up this coalition are in their 70s, 60s, 50s, right? But
a lot more in the 60s.
Yeah, a lot more in the 60s, right? So, what is the pipeline for grooming the next generation of Nigerian politicians? And if you don't do that, and start now to begin to lay the ground, the proper ground, for them to understand what politics is meant to serve, then we will have lost the opportunity to do that. And that is one of the key principles that's attracting people like me into ADC. You know, that it provides opportunity. There's a long-term vision behind this. And that's why when people describe the coalition as anti-Tinubu coalition, we say, no, we are not just anti-Tinubu coalition. We have a long-term vision of politics for Nigeria. We believe that if God helping us with this party, we can begin to lay a foundation, a solid foundation for a political traditional system in Nigeria.
Yeah. So if I ask the question, because people are struggling, at least some of the people whose comments I've read recently, saying that, listen, the dissatisfaction is quite obvious with the political class in this country.
Yes.
Nigeria needs change,
yes.
Disruptive change, one that would probably change the trajectory of this country for the better, right? But they're not quite convinced that you are that change.
Yeah.
What's your message to people who are not convinced that the people they're seeing on the ADC platform are not the change that Nigeria needs?
Yeah, it's understandable. It's understandable because we're here in 2014, 2015 when we brought the message of change. And Nigerians don't really think that what followed matched their expectation. So it's only natural that people become cynical and begin to tell themselves, we've seen all this before. How is it different from what we've seen before? And like you said, they'll say, oh, it's the same people, right? There's a legitimate reason to think so, but it's also dangerous because the most important point we must focus on is that politics is for politicians. You have to be a politician to play politics. That is one. Two, you can't find a politician in this country that has not been in one party or the other at a particular time. Maybe very few that you can say, okay, they've remained in one political party or have not held one office or the other at one point or the other. So it's the same. So it is easy to tie everybody with the same brush and say, well, they are the same people, right? But the most important point, that the most important thing we need to focus is that we cannot give up. Because we cannot bring angels to run this country. We cannot manufacture new set of politicians.
But they will say, well, you can bring new people, new faces, new
people,
blood.
But new blood have to be piped through a system.